when you think about AI, you think about the AI models. But it's really important to understand industrially, AI is actually essentially a 5-layer cake. At the bottom is energy. AI, because it's processed in real time and it generates intelligence in real time, it needs energy to do so. Energy is the first layer. The second layer is the layer that I live in. It's chips. Chips and computing infrastructure. The next layer above it is the cloud infrastructure, the cloud services. The layer above that is the AI models. This is where most people think AI is. But don't forget that in order for those models to happen, you have to have all of the layers underneath it. But the most important layer, and this is the layer that's happening right now, the reason why last year was an incredible year, frankly, for AI, is that the AI models made so much progress that the layer above it, which is ultimately the layer that we all need to succeed, the application layer above that. And so this application layer could be in financial services, it could be in healthcare, it could be in manufacturing. This layer on top ultimately is where economic benefit will happen. But the important thing, though, because this computing platform requires all of the layers underneath it, it has started, and everybody's seeing it right now, it has started the largest infrastructure build out in human history. We're now a few $100 billion into it.
That's it.
We're a few $100 billion into it. Larry and I, we get the opportunity to work on many projects together. There are trillions of dollars of infrastructure that needs to be built out. And it's sensible. It's sensible because all of these contexts have to be processed so that the AI, so that the models can generate the intelligence necessary to power the applications that ultimately sit on top. And so when you go back and when you reason about it layer by layer by layer, and you realize that the energy sector is now seeing extraordinary growth. The chip sector, TSMC just announced they're going to build 20 new chip plants. Foxconn working with us, and Wistron and Quanta building 30 new computer plants, which then go into these AI factories. So we have chip factories, computer factories, and AI factories all being built around the world.
And memory.
And memory, right, exactly. Those chip fabs. Micron has started investing $200 billion in the United States. SK Hynix is doing incredibly. Samsung is doing incredibly. You could see that entire chip layer growing incredibly today. And now, of course, we pay a lot of attention to the model layer, but it's really exciting that the layer above them is really doing fantastically. And now, one indicator is where the VC funding going into. Last year, 2025, was one of the largest years in VC funding ever. And last year, most of the funding went to what is called AI native companies. These are companies in healthcare, the company in robotics, and company in manufacturing, financial services, all of the large industries in the world. You're seeing huge investments going in to those AI natives because for the first time, the models are good enough to build on top of.
At 178.18 at the close of the most recent trading session, Nvidia showed a 4.32% drop from the closing price of the day before. The daily loss of 2.06% for the S&P. P500 was greater than the move in the stock. In other news, the tech-heavy Nasdaq fell by 2.39%, while the Dow fell by 1.76%. Over the past month, the stock of the company that makes graphics chips for AI and gaming has risen by 1.38%, which is less than the increases of 1.63% for the S&P. P500 and 1.71% for the computer and technology sector. The upcoming earnings report from Nvidia will be of great interest to investors. The company is expected to announce an EPS of $1.52, which would represent a 70.79% increase over the same quarter last year. According to the most recent average estimate, revenue is expected to reach $65.59 billion, a 66.78% rise over the same quarter last year. According to the consensus estimates, the company would make $4.6666 per share and generate $212.6 billion in revenue for the entire year, which would be plus 55.85% and plus 62.91%, respectively, more than the previous year. Any recent adjustments to analyst estimates for Nvidia should also be noted by investors. The most recent short-term business trends are typically reflected in recent adjustments. Consequently, projections that show positive revisions reflect analysts' confidence in the company's performance and potential for profit. According to our research, there is a direct correlation between these changes in estimates and future stock price performance. In order to take advantage of this, we have developed the ranking system, a special model that takes these estimate changes into account and provides a useful ranking system. With a ranking of number 1, strong buy, to number 5, strong sell, the rank method has a remarkable history of outperforming external audits. Number 1 stocks have yielded an average annual gain of plus 25% since 1988. The consensus EPS estimate has increased by 0.01% in the past 30 days. The rank approach has an impressive track record of surpassing external audits, with rankings ranging from number 1, strong buy, to number 5, strong sell. Since 1988, number 1 stocks have had an average yearly gain of plus 25%. Over the last 30 days, there has been a 0.01% increase in the consensus EPS estimate. The current rating for Nvidia is number 3, hold. Nvidia is currently trading at a forward PE ratio of 39.93 in terms of value. Nvidia is trading at a premium to the group, as indicated by the industry average forward PE of 33.05. It's also important to take note of Nvidia's PEG ratio of 0.86. The PEG ratio takes into account the company's anticipated increase in earnings, much like the popular PE ratio. As of yesterday's closure, the average PEG ratio for the semiconductor general industry was 3.29. With a 0.4% drop over the last day, a little increase over the last week, and low single-digit positive returns over the last month and 3 months, Nvidia's share performance has been inconsistent lately. Nvidia has a 1.4% negative return so far this year, but it has a 32.3% total return over the last year and a very high multi-year total return during the last 3 and 5 years. This aids in framing the current moves in relation to its historical performance. Nvidia's recent single-digit 1-month and 3-month share price returns at a share price of $186.23, contrast with a significantly higher 1-year and multi-year total shareholder return, indicating that momentum has cooled following a strong long-term run. It could be a good idea to look at other high-growth tech and AI firms that might fit your portfolio as well, especially if Nvidia's recent actions have caused you to reevaluate your tech exposure. The key question is straightforward. Is Nvidia still undervalued for its AI potential, or is the market already counting on years of future growth? Revenue and net income both increased by about 26%, and the share price is currently at $186.23. Roberto Allende claims that the story indicates a fair value of $345.07 compared to the most recent close of $186.23, a significant discrepancy that begs the obvious issue of what assumptions underlie that assessment. According to that user narrative, Nvidia appears to be 46% undervalued, based on a projected PE of roughly 43.8x. Since the share price is higher than our DCF fair value estimate of US $162, our method utilizing the current PE of 45.6x presents a more cautious picture. In short, the multiple-based narrative refers to Nvidia as undervalued, whereas the DCF model considers it to be trading beyond its estimated value. The true question for you as an investor is which set of presumptions you feel most comfortable supporting with your own funds. Join our investor community. Hit subscribe and like to get your daily Nvidia stock insights and tutorials delivered. Because of their links to sustainable AI capital spending and their stance as benefactors of developments in networking technology, Goldman Sachs has reiterated its support for Broadcom and Nvidia within the compute ecosystem. In order to address investor concerns over the GPU versus ASIC controversy in artificial intelligence computing, the investment bank created a inference cost curve to assess various chip vendors' solutions and their competitiveness over time. According to Goldman's analysis, Google Broadcom's TPU is quickly catching up to Nvidia's GPU solutions in terms of compute cost performance. TPU v7 achieved a roughly 70% reduction in cost per token compared to TPU v6, placing it on par with or marginally better than Nvidia's GB200 NVL72 in terms of absolute cost. While Amazon's Trainium and AMD solutions have only reduced costs by roughly 30% and lag behind Nvidia and Google solutions in terms of absolute cost, Goldman points out that Nvidia maintains advantages in time to market, and its CUDA software remains a crucial competitive moat for enterprise customers despite this pressure from the competition. Despite these competitive obstacles, AMD is now trading at a PE ratio of 121.77, which reflects high market expectations. Over the past 12 months, the company's revenue has grown by 31.83%, and in fiscal year 2025, it is expected to expand by 32%. In its analysis, the bank presented 4 possible future directions for AI development, although it still favors Broadcom and Nvidia because of their positions in what Goldman considers to be the most sustainable aspects of AI capital investment. With a 90.87% return over the past year, and a 4.91% gain just last week, AMD has produced outstanding market performance while trailing in this competitive environment. According to analysts, AMD is presently trading close to its fair value. In other recent news, Riot Platforms reported that it has secured a 10-year data center lease and services agreement with AMD at its Rockdale, Texas location. This is a big achievement. Beginning in January 2026, this deal calls for the initial deployment of 25 MW essential IT load capacity, with the possibility of increase to 200 MW. In light of this deal, Piper Sandler has reaffirmed an overweight rating on Riot Platforms, with a $2,600 price objective. Analysts are still keeping an eye on AMD, as Wells Fargo reaffirmed its overweight rating and set a $345 price target, making it their top pick for a 2026 stock because of its potential in artificial intelligence. With a sector perform rating and a price target of $230, RBC Capital has begun covering AMD, citing the company's recent collaboration with OpenAI and its advancements in the AI GPU market. However, following OpenAI's announcement of a multi-billion-dollar agreement with AI chip firm Cerebras, AMD's and Nvidia's shares fell. Through 2028, this more than $10 billion deal with Cerebras intends to include cutting-edge AI systems into OpenAI's infrastructure. The tech industry's ever-changing partnership and strategic move landscape is reflected in these developments. An important turning point in the chipmaker's financial development has been reached when Moody's Ratings raised Nvidia's senior unsecured rating to AA1. At the same time, the rating agency maintained a favorable view, indicating that as the company strengthens its hold on the artificial intelligence industry, more upward mobility may be likely. Nvidia's strong liquidity position and strong presence in the quickly growing data center ecosystem serve as the foundation for the upgrading. The company's unique software and industry-leading graphics processing units are cited by analysts as the main factors influencing this exceptional credit profile. According to Raj Joshi, Senior Vice President at Moody's, the AA1 rating and the positive outlook reflect the rapidly growing size of the data center AI infrastructure market and our expectation that Nvidia will maintain a dominant position in that market driven by its industry-leading innovations. A developer community of almost 6 million people supports this leadership even more by strengthening the company's competitive moat with a sizable collection of domain-specific apps. The chip giant's financial forecasts are still optimistic, with revenues predicted to increase from $213 billion in fiscal 2026 to $326 billion the following year. As the need for accelerated computing continues, free cash flow is expected to increase in tandem, possibly reaching $149 billion. The credit agency pointed up risks associated with a significant revenue concentration among a small number of U.S. hyperscale customers, even with the upgrade. These major customers are progressively creating their own silicon programs, which may eventually pose a threat to Nvidia's expensive data center products. With its industry-leading graphics processing units, GPUs, central processing units, data processing units, networking, and CUDA software innovations, The business is well positioned to take advantage of the growing demand for accelerated computing in data centers, Joshi continued. However, outside variables like limitations in the domestic electrical supply for data centers may temporarily limit the demand for the commodity. Geopolitical tensions continue to be a major concern, especially with regard to U.S. export restrictions that have historically reduced earnings from the Chinese market. Although domestic demand has so far compensated for these losses, Nvidia's worldwide market dominance is long-term threatened by the emergence of local semiconductor competitors in China. Nvidia's capacity to manage these regional supply chain concentrations and preserve its technological advantage will determine future rating increases. On the other hand, if the company's cash position significantly deteriorates, or if expenditure on AI infrastructure declines over an extended period of time, its existing position may need to be reevaluated. I projected that Nvidia will reach $5 trillion in 2025 by the end of 2024. This forecast was made for a very straightforward reason. I was correct that the AI hyperscalers will continue to spend rapidly. But when it came to Nvidia's price multiples, I was mistaken. Even though Nvidia is currently below the $5 trillion market capitalization benchmark, I believe it will reappear in 2026. It would require a considerable increase for Nvidia to surpass the $5 trillion mark, as the company was valued at just over $3 trillion at the beginning of 2025. Since Nvidia was almost a $2 trillion firm, this prognosis was in much worse position after President Trump's tariff announcements in April. Though it is no longer at that level, Nvidia became the first $5 trillion business in October as the market surged throughout the year. It got there because of the unquenchable demand for its graphics processing units, GPUs, and the willingness of AI hyperscalers to shell out almost infinite sums of money for computer hardware. Throughout 2025, the tendency remained constant, and there are no signs that it will alter in 2026. I believe Nvidia will finish the year firmly in the $5 trillion club as a result. The value of Nvidia is lower than I anticipated. When I first predicted this at the end of 2024, Nvidia's price-to-forward earnings ratio was 45. I thought that was a little pricey, but at 40 times forward earnings, it's a little less now. Without a doubt, Nvidia's stock is still not inexpensive. The valuations of the other large tech equities, meanwhile, have increased to about 30 times forecast earnings. This makes Nvidia slightly more expensive than its competitors, but in my opinion, it's still a much better purchase. Which major tech company, after all, can equal Nvidia's growth this year? Wall Street experts predict that Nvidia's platform supremacy will propel a 50% increase in sales. In my opinion, Nvidia will surpass $5 trillion and stop looking back in 2026. In order to achieve that, the stock would need to increase by roughly 10%, or market average returns. The real bull case, in my opinion, is much greater than that, and Nvidia ought to be at the top of investors' 2026 shopping lists. According to a source familiar with the situation, Bloomberg News reported on Tuesday that Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang intends to visit China in late January in an effort to reopen a crucial market for the company's artificial intelligence chips. According to the article, Huang is anticipated to go to business functions in February before the Lunar New Year vacations and might even travel to Beijing. Reuters was unable to confirm the report right away. Nvidia chose not to respond. According to the article, Huang's plans may yet alter based on the confirmation of potential talks with senior Chinese authorities. This follows last week's official approval by the Trump administration to sell Nvidia's second most potent H200 AI processors to China, which is anticipated to open the door for shipments in defiance of Washington's China hawks. But a day later, on January 14th, Chinese customs officials declared that the H200 chips could not be brought into the nation, according to Reuters. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.